An entrepreneurial startup requires hard work, dedication, perseverance, and a lot more.
Today on Heads Up, we take you through the journeys of some of the young and ambitious people who've been dedicated to an idea. Many of them have left their cushy 9-to-5 jobs to pursue their entrepreneurial dream.
We will also be speaking to those who are called angels. Angels because they're one of the first investors in a startup.
First up on our list is Tripoto, a travel website that was started by two friends from ISB Hyderabad. Their USP, that they allow people like you and me to travel in the footsteps of avid travelers.
Hi, I'm Anirudh Gupta.
Hi, I'm Michael Lingdor,
And
we are the founders of Tripoto.
If you love traveling, this may just be the thing for you. Tripoto is a website that collects travel itineraries and plans from around the world. Simply put, it has information for travelers by travelers.
The idea about Tripoto actually evolved over time. So both of us travel extensively, and what we saw is that while we were planning an itinerary, there's a lot of information on the web, but it's not really usable. So what we thought was that it would be a great idea to actually have crowdsource itineraries from people, have them put the itineraries on our platform, and use that information. People can use that information when they actually travel.
Tripoto allows you to share a trip you have been on with others by posting relevant information that can help other fellow travelers. You can upload photographs, share details on your trip, and let fellow travelers know all that it took to make the trip happen. Logistics, costs, you name it.
You'll find 7 or 8 trips on our platform around Delhi. So you will think that Delhi is just Qutub Minar or Red Fort. But if you actually look, there are so many unexplored historical places in Delhi. And on your platform, you can find so many trips that you can do in a day on yourself.
The website is a treasure cove for wannabe travelers and avid travelers alike, bringing them together on one platform and giving them an insight into the lives of some very interesting people, like this one.
One of the most interesting itineraries on our site is by this gentleman named Francis Tapon, who's an author, a public speaker. So he is, for the next 1 year, he's traveling all across Africa for the next 4 years, and he's visiting all 54 countries. So what he says is that he's filming his entire journey. He says if you want to join him, you can join him for, he travels in a Jeep, so he's got space for 3 more people. So he said you can join me for a fixed fee. It funds my traveling expenses for the next 4 years. And he's put up his itinerary, and it's inspirational for people.
Michael and Anirudh met in business school in Hyderabad and discussed the idea of a travel website there. After founding Tripoto in April 2013, there has been no looking back for the two of them. With over 100 itineraries and 3,000 registered users, the Tripoto team is raring to go.
We've also got some celebrities who shared their trips on Tripoto. So like Baichung Bhutia wanted to write a guide about South Sikkim. So he actually documented what all places you should visit in Sikkim, and he's given a very nice map of what someone should do if they were planning a visit to Sikkim for the next 5 days. And then we've also got Ayushman Khurrana, who went to Lahore a couple of years ago with his brother, Apar Shakti. So he wrote about his entire trip, about what he did in Lahore and how it's very close to home for him also, it reminds him of home.
So get on and get inspired to make that trip you've been planning for a long time. In New Delhi with Manoj Thakur, Kriti Mathur for NDTV. Our next story is about 3 school friends that went their separate ways but decided to come together later to bring their business and startup experience to help other startups springboard into existence. It may masquerade as a regular working environment, your typical office, but look closely. This is a co-working space, the new way to get your startup that extra push it needs. That's where places like 91 Springboard, a co-working space, come in. On offer here, a shared working environment for companies, freelancers, startups, and professionals. So those working on the desk next to you are usually working for another organization or even for a competitor, not your typical office. Sharing space here are teams of 2 to 3 people working together, or freelancers or even new companies just starting out. All they need to do is pay per month depending on the amount of desk space they need.
The idea behind co-working is a lot of the time when you're starting up, like alone or a small 2-3 person team, it ends up being like you're working from home, your basic problems like internet connection, things like that, you're really reinventing the wheel in the early stages. So the idea with co-working is, one, take that hassle away so people can actually focus on their business. And more importantly, like create this community where, like I talked about reinventing the wheel, chances are if you're in a community where there's 50 other startups around you, someone who's the guy sitting 3 desks down probably has dealt with the same problem before you.
91 Springboard was founded by Varun, Anand and Pranay, who were childhood school friends in Delhi. After their studies and work took them their separate ways, the trio came together to create 91 Springboard in mid-2012. Varun brought his startup experience to the company after beginning to work with several startup firms. Anand studied at Stanford University in the US and worked with 2 startup companies, and Pranay headed the incubator and accelerator at IIM Ahmedabad before quitting and joining 91 Springboard full-time. The 3 of them combined bring together over a decade of experience in business and entrepreneurial startups, and have made arrangements in 91 Springboard for other budding entrepreneurs, adding their personal touch to their business by naming all the conference rooms after their favorite video games. A co-working area typically provides desk space, phone connections, power backup, office amenities like Wi-Fi and printers, cafes and conference rooms. With over 63 companies working under one roof, 91 Springboard connects its co-workers with marketing agencies, PR firms, investors, legal help, HR and accounting. And people with the skills could be sitting right across you.
The thought was 3 layers of services to entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs. 1 is infrastructure and services, 2 is networking and knowledge, and 3 is incubation and capital. So what I mean by that is the first layer is where they get a plug-and-play office space. In India, getting just office space, executing a lease, getting a phone line, getting internet connection, it takes 2-3 months. This is when the entrepreneur has all that energy and they're wasting it away just figuring out infrastructure.
Co-working isn't only about sharing a physical environment with strangers such as an office place. It also involves ample room for idea exchange, discussion and synergy on projects alongside people with complementary skills.
So the fundamental to 91 Springboard is the idea that let's get a lot of good people in together at one place and they'll all interact with each other. Good collisions will happen and good things will happen. You just walk around the space and you'll see these people who didn't know each other earlier getting together in a room. We've had people find co-founders here. There's one company where 2 different people who were working in 91 Springboard now got together and they're working together. We seen people find customers here. People find ideas. We see brainstorming sessions where someone just stands up and says, I'm coming up with this mobile product. Can you just give me ideas on how else can I improve upon it?
Co-working is an idea that is well developed in the West, with other companies similar to 91 Springboard coming up across India. The idea is a fledgling one, and how feasible such a work environment is for different types of companies, only time will tell. Such an environment usually suits companies that have small teams. As the business expands and kicks off, teams prefer to move out of co-working space into their own office due to space restrictions and of course privacy concerns.
We are still a step away from being Silicon Valley, but I think it's another matter of 3-4 years when we'll reach there.
With spaces at such a premium, it may only be a matter of time before co-working becomes a larger reality in India's professional space. In New Delhi with Zubair Rizvi, Kriti Mathur for NDTV.
At the initial stages, the startup could use all the help they need. But who are these people who invest their time and their money to fulfill someone else's dream? Abhishek, what do you have for us?
Yes, Kriti. Starting a business is a difficult task. There is a lot which is required to be done and to be known. In such circumstances, help from an expert is always welcome. We're joined by Mr. Saurabh Srivastava, former chairman, NASSCOM, and one of India's leading IT entrepreneurs. We'll be talking to him about incubation. Incubators are often also referred to as angel investors for being the first investors in a startup. Hello, sir. Thanks for talking to us, sir. So, sir, to begin with, what is incubation?
Well, incubation is when somebody has a bright idea, but that's all they have. They don't quite know how to create it into a business. They may have a model and plan for a technology. It may be a product that they are trying to create, but it's unfinished. They haven't really created that. They may not have a team ready. So it's the germ of an idea. So at that time, what an incubator does is really take them in, mentor them, help them think through the idea, see how you can create a business out of it, what could be a possible plan, do they have the right team, help them put the team together. It's really nurturing them to take somebody's sort of bright spark into something that may be tangible.
Okay. So, what are a few factors which would influence an incubator's decision in terms of whether they want to support or invest in a startup or not?
See, there are many. Let me give you some examples from, let's say, how the IN incubator, which had helped co-found, looks at things. So first it says, is this idea worth anything? Even if I implement it, is it going to do anybody any good? Does it have potential if it's doable? The second thing is you look at the entrepreneurs who've come in. What is their motivation? What have they done before? Is it likely that they might be able to do something with it? Are they coachable? Will they listen? You look at a number of things of that kind and then say, okay, we'll take it in, because at the end of the day, nobody stays in an incubator forever. So within 12 months, you really want them to take from here to a certain point where they can start to raise some capital, and we can help them raise that capital.
How should they sort of pitch when they go to see an incubator? How should they pitch their idea, their business?
Well, in the first place, they should be candid, because if they're trying to play games, you have very experienced people and they see through it, and then you lose trust. So be candid. Say how you see it. They need to pitch to, first of all, impress the people in the incubator that they have an idea that's really worth something, is going to do something to somebody. The second thing they need to do is to ensure that they're communicating what are their strengths. Okay, it's a great idea, but why you? Do you have the ability to think through, to execute? What have you done? Have you invested your time and effort? Do you have a team? Do you have other people you can lean back in to bring in and help? What is the chance of success you would have if we gathered around you and tried to hold your hand and help you? Those are the two things that are very important.
Okay, thanks for talking to us, sir. That was Mr. Saurabh Srivastava, and his message to all the young entrepreneurs out there is clear. If you believe in your dream, go ahead with it and take help as and when required.